If I haven't met you yet, I am Stephanie, and I joined Algorithm back in December. I've been working with ERPs for about 8 years now, mostly focused in manufacturing. I get genuinely excited about the shop floor because that's where plans become parts and parts become products that do some seriously niche functions that we all benefit from. If you're a job shop, an equipment manufacturer, or you live in the engineer to order or configure to order space, you know the pattern. The work is complex, priorities shift, and the shop floor can't afford ERP friction. Your operators need to stay operating. Your supervisors need visibility, and your business still needs timely, trustworthy production data. To answer those needs, Acumatica has developed the Shop Floor Kiosk, which I'm, again, pretty excited about. It's built specifically to capture production data on the shop floor without slowing the operators down. Shop Floor Kiosk is browser-based, like you're already used to. It's a very touch-friendly experience designed for the realities of the shop floor. So think tablet-sized devices at a work center, on a cart, or wherever work is really happening. Operators can use it to capture time and materials against production orders, and they don't even need an Acumatica login to do it. It's huge, right? For those of you who are ERP admins, you'll appreciate not needing to reset even more passwords than usual. When we implement manufacturing systems, we always have two audiences to serve: the people doing the work and the people trying to run the business. Shop Floor Kiosk closes that gap in a way that's practical. Operators get to move faster with less training, right? You're still getting that data, but your operators aren't slowed down. Having that operator dedicated interface means minimal clicks, less confusion, and faster onboarding. Your supervisors get that real-time visibility. With people clocking in electronically, supervisors aren't chasing down paper. Labor time completions, exceptions get captured as work happens, not hours later at the end of a shift, or worse, days or weeks later. And then we get cleaner data, right? So we're not just going off of our assumptions, our past time studies anymore. We have real, consistent electronic records of what's happening on the shop floor, which gives us better WIP visibility, more accurate actuals, and fewer we'll fix it later transactions. A detail I appreciate from change management standpoint, each operator can get to their work in whatever way they find easiest. So whether that's through their work center or by a production order number, whatever suits them, right? It's nice to give those choices to our operators whenever we can. And we're not losing time to running across the shop to a specific station, right? Operators can go to whatever station is closest to them, saving time and energy that needs to be dedicated to building that product. So let's get into it. All right, the first screen, kind of as anyone approaches one of these shop floor kiosk screens, is going to be this operations in progress. And it's a single screen that is designed around the idea of answering the question, where are we at? Who's doing what operations are active? You can see that from kind of the list of employees here, production numbers, what operation they're on, the work center, and kind of what the planned time, as well as some of the actuals and remaining over here. Sign in is only going to take seconds. We simply click sign in, scroll down, find our name, and select it, and we're in. No password again needed. And I would be remiss not to mention that while there's currently no barcode scanning, it is coming in future releases, which alleviates a common concern around hand keying errors or operators logging in for one another. Okay. The home page is showing really concise options here, right, for the operator. They only have a maximum of 4 choices of what to do here, right? Something like work in progress, when I'm not clocked into anything, isn't going to be available for me to select. All right, we have work centers, again, if they want to look up the correct task by work center, or if they prefer to go in through production orders, they absolutely can. We'll start with those 2 options for now. To go ahead and navigate into the assembly work center and scroll down and find my work order here, or my production order. And if we click here, we're going to get a list of all the operations, or I can click directly into the operation for the work center I'm already in. And we arrive at our home screen here, showing us the quantity that's planned for this order, how many have been completed, and we can kind of see the remaining planned time as well for this operation. So first things first, right? We want to be able to clock in here. So I'm going to go ahead and clock in. And it's going to give me just a little friendly reminder here that I need to clock back out before I report any completed quantities. So I do, in fact, have that labor reflected correctly in the cost of the item. Let's head over here to our materials tab. Right now, material is going to be fully backflushed from reported quantities, but we can still look at these materials, right? I can see what they are, what was planned for this, even how many are remaining, quantity on hand, available for issue, all really helpful pieces of information for the operators without having to go and chase somebody down and say, hey, do we have enough materials for this, or is it, dedicated to another order? And I'm going to go ahead and click through these buttons. Again, everything is still operating in backflush, but if I click this issue button, I can see, for example, the circuit board, where the circuit boards are, the serial numbers. And so if I'm wondering where something is, I can look it up right from here. Okay, pretty cool. And if we come back here, we've let a little time lapse here, which is helpful. I'm going to go ahead and clock out. And I should note while that's processing that we can currently, it's going to only support a single clock in at one time per operator. And as we clock out, we get this little message here. It says your labor time hasn't been recorded. Sounds scary, but it isn't. It simply means that the labor transaction has been created, but it still needs to be released by, again, somebody who has permissions to do that. Okay. And when we're ready to report that there is a completed or even a scrap quantity here, we're able to do so right from this screen in a very concise manner. If I've completed all of the quantity that was expected, I can go ahead and set to remaining quantity. And I can also report any scrap over here as well. All right. So very exciting things over here. And again, a lot of visuals here to help the operator understand, the time remaining, the quantities remaining, that I think is again, always a nice visual cue. Few other things we've got here. We have steps and files as well. So steps are a great place for work instructions, keeping those up to date, as well as files. So if you have work instructions in kind of a different format, you haven't entered them as steps, or if you have a drawing that you'd like to use, it's not buried in somebody's email or in your file structure like 7 layers deep. Right? So we want to make things available to the operator and again, keep them operating. All right. And last thing that I want to point out here on this screen is going to be recent activity. So operators ready to leave for the day, they want to know exactly what they did, right? They want to make sure that they did in fact report the completed quantity on that order, or yes, they did spend time doing, X, Y, and Z that day. This is a great way for people to kind of just do their own check on themselves, right? Before heading out for the day and setting that reset button that we all do in our brains, because I certainly can't remember what I did yesterday. So again, recent activity, really handy. It's going to show us the 7 most recent days. Let's head back to our PowerPoint slides here. And I'm just going to leave this up in terms of showing you guys kind of, again, what that fit is, some of the things I've already talked about here. So in a high mix environment, the shop floor is a constant series of micro decisions. What's next? Who's on what? Are we ahead or behind? Do we have material? A shop floor kiosk is designed to make those decisions easier without pulling operators into a full ERP interface. So faster adoption for supervisors to get people set up, kiosks set up, and nobody has to remember a password. Less disruption, so we get reporting immediately, completion scraps, and even, again, knowing where those materials are without waiting for somebody with ERP access. And this is going to facilitate better conversations, right? We want to give people the ownership over their work and a sense of accountability. to ensure that issues are addressed quickly. Just some implementation notes here. There is some setup that goes into this, and we'd love to help you with it. So certainly reach out to us if you'd like to get set up with this and check it out. I'm excited for this feature, and I'm definitely excited for the future development that they'll continue to do on this. Obviously, this is the first iteration of it, and we're excited to see where that development goes as well.